Shannon, how you doing? You look deep in thought there.
Honestly, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you want me to start? Give you a couple minutes?
probably
Okay.
because everything that went in my head went back out. It'll come to me, but yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Nice to see lots of faces on. I think we'll have a few more kind of trickling in as we get going. So tonight we just wanted to chat about Super Saturday takeaways. It's kind of cool because we both went to different ones. Shannon was in Toronto, I was in Edmonton. So we got to hear from different speakers and stuff. So we're just going to share a little bit about our top takeaways. And then I also really want to super quickly chat about the wake up call this week because I just thought it was really awesome. So Edmonton Super Saturday, I got to hear from Rosa Friesen. So she's like one of the top coaches. Her and her team finished in the top 10 actually in 2017. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about her story. It was a pretty good story. Definitely shed the room in tears as well. So she started coaching. I think she's a mom of 3. She started coaching actually when her, I think, 3rd baby, don't quote me on this, was 2 days old. So like she was super busy, but she was just like, you know what? I don't want to go back to work after maternity leave. And in 9 months, she was able to let go of that corporate job and she did not go back to work. And she really stressed that like coaching is all about failing, learning, and trying again. And I love that because honestly, coaching comes with so many failures, but that's kind of a neat thing. You learn from it and you try something else. So just a little bit about her story, and I debated sharing this, but obviously like she shared it, so it's like it's public, but it's, you know, it gets a little emotional, but I just think it's so important for you guys to know that Beachbody is more than just workouts and like shakes. We are such a big community, and like her story really, you know, reminded me of that. Not that I really ever doubted it, but if some of you guys are newer and maybe haven't been to like a Beachbody event yet, you might not know that like there is a huge community of coaches behind you. So a little bit about her story. So again, she started coaching in 2015. They were pushing for top 10 for a couple years. They didn't get it until 2017. Her team finished in the top 10. They were actually on a leadership retreat. She took her top leaders on a trip and she got a phone call that her dad actually was admitted to the hospital. He had had a stroke. So she flew home to be there with them. Then she actually went back to California. She is a Canadian coach, but she lives, like she's originally from Canada, but she lives in California. Went back to California. A couple weeks later, got a call that her sister, they're only 18 months apart, collapsed like at the hospital. Went home, actually found out that her sister was diagnosed with cancer. So, and within like another few months, her brother was diagnosed with cancer and her dad had a massive heart attack. So that is a lot, all in 5 months. She actually lost her sister within 5 months that she found out that she was diagnosed with cancer. And like the point of this is that, you know, she said that her life came crashing down around her. Obviously, like I have goosebumps actually talking about it, but she was so blown away by Beachbody. Like she was in the 80-day obsession test group at the time. She obviously didn't finish it, but she said Autumn and the entire cast, crew, everyone in that test group made her a video of like things they loved about her and all that, and they sent it to her. Beachbody, top coaches, and just coaches on her team were sending her trainings, were sending her like Instagram post ideas, and just like really doing everything they could to help her so that she didn't have to, you know, focus on her business as much as she normally would because she was going through a lot. And she said, you know, she didn't quit. Despite her life literally crashing down around her, she gained 60 pounds. She said she literally ate Doritos for an entire year, gained 60 pounds. And she's like, but I was still a Beachbody coach. That didn't change anything. And, you know, she's now lost 25 pounds of that. And she's still showing up and sharing her story. And I just thought that was really, really powerful how, you know, something that happened in her life that Beachbody came together and supported her and helped her through that hard time as best as they could. So that's really amazing. So just know that you guys are never alone. You're part of something so much bigger, like I said, than just a fitness program and Shakeology. And she just, so she went on to talk about like, don't be scared, you know, other people don't matter. Live your life, because her sister actually joined as a coach shortly before got sick, and she really like told the room how her biggest like takeaway from her sister was that like she was living her life, you know, despite it not being a traditional job. She never cared. She was living her life, she was having fun, she was sharing that with other people, and she just really stressed that like this is your life and you never know what is going to happen. So do what makes you happy, and if there are things in your life that aren't making you happy, sit down and write them out and think about why aren't they making you happy, and start working on changing that, because only you are in control of your life. And honestly, life is way too short to do things that aren't bringing you joy into your life. So one other thing that really stuck out that she said was, and at first the whole room was kind of like, what? She's like, you aren't a 5-star diamond coach, you aren't a top coach, you aren't a 6-figure earner, you're not a leader. And like, again, we were all kind of like, ouch, like, where are you going with this? So she said that if you were that, you would already be that. But no one's really born a Beachbody coach or like born a 5-star coach or whatever. We become those things. So just know that nobody starts out as a top coach. Nobody starts out as an amazing leader. No one starts out having all this crazy, huge success. You become those things. So just keep going, you know? She said that how like no one will outwork you. So like do that. Have that mentality that even though you may not know everything yet and maybe you're not where you want to be in this business, but if you have the mindset that no one will work harder than me, no one will be more consistent than me, then your stuff will happen. It takes time. And just know that you can become anything you want in this business. You have to work at it and go after it, set your goals, and just get started. And she really also talked about like getting excited. Like, obviously that's kind of a given, but like your passion and fire for this business and these programs, that's going to trickle down to other people. That's what gets people wanting to do this with us, because they see how excited we get about the programs and stuff like that. And like, even if you don't realize it, you are making an impact, whether you know you have 1 follower or 10 followers, like you're making an impact and you're changing lives. And don't forget that you and your story is unique. There are so many coaches and people out there that we follow, and it can be hard sometimes to not try to post like other people and be other people, when if you just stop and start being more you, it's actually a lot more fun. It's a lot more easy to come up with content, and you're going to attract those people that are like you. So remember that there's only one of you. You have a unique story, and your story is going to inspire someone. It's going to change a life. It's going to help someone. So don't ever like discount your story, I guess. I think that's all I had from Rosa, I think. So I don't know if Shannon, if you want to talk about your season.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
ours, we had like a new location change this year, and everything was like very different. Even the speeches were very short, so I don't have a lot, but I have some. So I don't know if anyone, it's been a while. Do you remember Josh Coates? We had a motivational speaker, and he spoke on Team Fitspiration. So if anyone like has a pen and paper and wants to write his name down, because I feel like it's worth going back to put in the search engine of Team Fitspiration, Josh Coates' talk. It's Josh and then Coats. Anyways, he spoke to us, and he honestly, he was like, I had slides prepared, and after the first speech, he's like, I just want to wing it, and I want to just share my story with you. So I don't have too much to share, but he shared his story of how like he was really struggling. They had no money. And there was this one thing that kind of stuck with me, where his son came home with an invitation to a birthday party in his backpack. And he was like, I found myself like hiding my kids' birthday invitations because we couldn't afford all the extra, like $20 here, $20 there for gifts. And he was like, it was so, what's the word, emasculating, as being a man. And he was like, you know, I had to stop and think, like, what is Netflix giving me? Like, when I sit down and I'm wasting all the time, he was like, this is taking away from my child's happiness, all the things and the lack of focus that he was doing with his life, and he knew he had to make a change. But he was like, he had said, I know this is going to offend some of you people, but he was like, ask yourself. I kind of wrote it down, and I might butcher it because I didn't write it down when I was there. But what did he say? He was just like, is Netflix worth your child's happiness? Now, that might not apply to everybody, but it applied to him. And I thought, man, that applies to me, because there's so many nights where I'm just hanging out watching Netflix all night. And, I say I want to grow this business, but I'm sitting and I'm tuning into all that. And I was telling Jen today, I'm like, it's not like I'm saying, I'm vowing I'm never going to sit and watch Netflix again, but there's like these certain sacrifices that we have to stop and take a look. Okay, if we really want to grow this business and provide more for our families, what is it that you can take a look at that is stopping you from doing that? And for him, Netflix just seemed to be the big one, and everyone kind of agreed. Like, everyone would look at each other being like, oh yeah, like I spend a lot of time on Netflix. So I thought that was really good. And then another thing, this is kind of going back to Summit, but Melanie Mitro shared how vision is so important. And one thing that, again, totally stuck with me, she was like, well, before I sat down to work, they were always struggling every Christmas and every January when they had the big bills and the debt. And, even out Christmas shopping, the joy was gone because they didn't have the money at the time before she started coaching to give to their kids the way they wanted to. So she was like, before I sat down and worked my business, I envisioned what it would feel like for like my kids even to be running down the stairs Christmas morning to everything that I wanted to give them, to that feeling in January you're not going through all the bills and realizing like, holy shit, we spent how much and how many bills do we have? So to really get clear on what you want, like what your vision is. And for me, that was like a big one, like every Christmas. Yeah, it's a struggle, right? And I mean, to know that we can get out of that through coaching, if you can align these thoughts when you're going to sit down and work and when it gets tough and like when you don't want to do your power hour, to tune into what you're doing this for in the long run. I felt like I really connected with that because, again, that comes to you with like your strong why, having a why. But those were things that stuck out for me personally. Honestly, our speaker was French and she was adorable, but I'm not even going to go into what that was all about because it's too much. But another big thing was for her, for personal development. And people said, like a lot of top coaches said this at Summit, they're like, Rachel Hollis is great. She has amazing books, but maybe, and Jen, I think you even said this on one of our last calls, but there's some new faces, but like, some of you might not need that book by Rachel Hollis. So really pick a personal development book that is for you. For me personally, I majorly struggle with time management. That is my biggest setback. I really need to work in really focused pockets of the day. So that book, if I hear the book, Eat That Frog one more time and I don't pick it up, please, anybody, next Tuesday, call me out. If I have not bought Eat That Frog on Audible, slap me, like virtually, because that is something I think I can really benefit from. And I've read all the Rachel Hollis books and I actually did benefit from that personally. But for me, it's time management. And Jen, I don't know if you've got, I'm sure you might have a book list in your team page of like, do you have a whole thing for all your coaches? Yeah, and so do I. So any of my coaches on here, like seriously, there is a book for everything. So whatever your struggle is, pick a book, reach out to me. And then what else did I want to say from that? Another book, a book recommendation, because I'm also reading 10X Rule right now. And he is really, has anyone read that 10X Rule? You did. Yeah. Okay. So I'm in the middle of it. You could probably speak more to this, but like just so many things, like we did not show up to live a mediocre life and we're setting our goals too small. And let's just say like your goal, for example, like my goal's 2-star, you can lose that in a heartbeat. When you're setting goals too small, shoot way bigger so that you're safer, right? So like I really identified with that because in the past, I've always just set small goals with this business, but you really have to be doing everything. And he's like, if you think you're going to post on Facebook once a day and you're going to blow up and become the big successful star, he's like, you're not. And even though I know we used to post 3 to 5 times a day when we first started this, it started making me think, you know what, the one a day, I personally now feel like isn't even enough. Or it is, but if you're blasting, you're making sure you're doing your Instagram stories, you're doing Facebook and Instagram, you kind of have to be in everyone's face. And you may be fearful of being annoying, but he's like, you kind of want that. You want to be known. You want someone to be sitting going, like I got to join a gym. I got to do something. Oh, wait. They got to see that your post pop up, and that will trigger them. So it's a good thing to be there. We're not saying get out and be pushy and, do it in a gross way, but like 10x everything. So that's a huge book. Like this year, I know a lot of us have big goals. We really want to grow. 10x, like seriously go out and get it. It's so amazing. But I know that's kind of, I'm all over the place, Jen, but those are kind of like some of my takeaways from Saturday.
It's funny though, I just want to touch on, I read 10x like years ago, so I wouldn't be able to really give much. I want to read it again though, but I just wanted to say about the stories. Raina Odell actually said that. I think at the last Super Saturday, she said, she's like, every time someone opens their Instagram, I want them to see my little circle at the top. She's like, I don't care if I'm annoying them. She's like, that means like they're not going to forget about me. If they ever want to, need help with their health and wellness, they're going to think, oh, Raina, because they see me every single time they open up their Instagram. So you kind of have to do that, and you don't have to do it in an annoying way, like Shannon said, but just you want to have people see you and see you often so that they remember, like, oh yeah, okay, I want to do this. No, those are all awesome points. I actually just found, I forgot Jake Story actually spoke to at our Super Saturday. He was super quick. I agree. This one, I think was a little different just because they were trying to gear it towards people that weren't coaching yet. So, and of course,
totally.
Yeah. So
it was all about new, like bringing people into the business. So it wasn't as much for like the seasoned coach.
Yes, for sure. So if you weren't a coach yet, or you had someone like that you could bring that was on the fence about coaching, it would have been really awesome. But yes, for like Shannon and I, it was, for me, I found it a lot of like repetitive kind of information. But a few things I did like that Jake talked about, he allowed some people to ask a few questions, like the audience. And I find like we all get hesitations, right? Things like that come up from people when, they want to join or they're on the fence. So I just wanted to share a couple of those. So the first thing, I hear this a lot, people say like, oh, everyone has a coach, like the market's saturated, blah, 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 blah. And he just made a point that he's like, no, like, first of all, no, like not everyone has a coach. Like we're expanding into a whole new country next year. But he said, like, if you were on a plane or a bus or a train and you asked someone like, hey, or they asked you what you do and you said, oh, Beachbody, and asked them like if they knew anything about it, he says most people maybe would have heard of P90X or maybe 21 Day Fix, but like not everybody knows what Beachbody coaching is or has a coach, trust me. So like if anyone ever says like, oh no, the market's saturated, just know that A, that's not true, and B, there's always going to be people out there that need us and waiting for us. So that's why it's so important to keep showing up and be consistent, because there are lots of people out there still, I promise. Another thing I kind of liked, he said if like you're feeling stuck, like kind of mundane in your business, like because sometimes it can feel repetitive, we do, well, it's kind of like any job, you're kind of doing the same things over and over again. But he said don't be afraid to like add in something new, whether it's even a new book or maybe do your workout at a different time. Like just do something to kind of change your routine just a little bit. That's not really like a hesitation or anything, but I thought that was a good point. And something we hear a lot, pyramid scheme. So obviously, no, those are illegal. That's kind of the first thing I always tell people. I'm like, first of all, no, it's illegal. And Jake was like, we have a whole legal team like behind us to support that. No, like we're not a pyramid scheme. And he just said like a pyramid scheme is when people like give a certain amount of money and then it like duplicates and goes around and you get a chunk of money back. I don't know, but basically it's everything goes to the top. So one person just sits at the top and kind of makes money. But with coaching, everybody has an equal opportunity. You can outrank, out earn your sponsored coach. You know, like it all comes down to your ability and your hustle. Everybody has the exact same playing field. So just know that, because if we all see that floating around, pyramid scheme. Like I even see friends on my Instagram, like they'll post little pyramid scheme memes and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. But a lot of people actually don't know what a pyramid scheme is. So it's good to be educated on it if you ever get asked about it or hear about it. And like, long story short is just no, it's illegal. One other thing that actually Rosa said too, and I love this because she was so funny. I was not expecting it. Like, I actually didn't really expect to even connect with her, to really enjoy her talking, and she was so funny. And she just said, she's like, when people tell me like they don't have time, she's like, first of all, she references Beyonce, and she's like, look at Beyonce, like that girl does everything, and she still friggin' slays, like blah blah blah. And then she says like she'll tell people if they're like, sorry, I don't have time to like do a workout or do this, she'll be like, pull up your phone right now, go into your settings, and check your screen time. And she has them actually do it. And she's like, usually it's a couple hours for most people. And she's like, so you could easily cut back on that screen time and get a workout in. And I really like that because it's so true. Like, I wouldn't even want to look at my screen time some days. I mean, yeah, some of it's work, but a lot of it's just watching Instagram stories. Like, I don't know, like it's just me, but sometimes I get sucked into watching stories, and I'm like, next thing I know, 30 minutes has gone by. Well, there's a workout. So we all have the time. It's just sometimes you really have to take an honest look at your day and what you're doing and if you're being productive, and just like cut some things out. Again, we're all guilty of that, but it's just, I just really liked how she said, she's like, I literally asked people, take out your phone right now, go into your settings. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Okay, so that's kind of all I had about Super Saturday. Oh, you guys, the next one, just if you guys want to write it down, the next event, so it's in all major cities. If you never are, if you're ever unsure of like where it is, just obviously ask Shannon or I. It's November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So I think they're doing it kind of like they did this one, like a weekend thing, whereas Edmonton didn't have that. It was only one day. But yeah, so it'll be November 1st weekend. So it could depend like where you are, if it's Saturday, Friday night, the Sunday. So just, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Usually you can get tickets like now if you want. I don't know, were the tickets cheaper for you guys this time?
Yeah, I think they were cheaper. They were just a little bit.
Oh, so ours were like $15. Normally they're like 40.
Oh no, yeah, okay, ours were up there, but when I first started going as a coach, they were 15, 20, and now they're up to 40, 50s.
Yeah, I don't know why I paid $16 this time.
What? I'm jealous.
I mean, our events were very small though, but
see, we always get like, I mean, we did Jericho, right? So we did the morning meltdown. We always get the top trainers like Joel.
We don't get those, so that's probably why. We just followed her on a like projector screen.
Okay. Hey.
It's so cool to do the workouts with people, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's all I have about Super Saturday. If you have anything else you want to add, or I can just go into really quickly the wake up call.
I was just going to say, Miguel, yeah, I'm going to mute myself because that, for the power hour and what you said about Miguel with the 100, so good.
Okay. So if you guys, I know some of you listened to the wake up call yesterday. If you haven't yet, you should, because it was really, really good. You should try to make these a non-negotiable every week. You guys, if you can't catch it live, totally okay. I never used to be able to catch them live either, but I just wrote it down and I did it as my personal development for like one day of the week or something, because they're filled with nuggets and just inspiration and motivation. I've never got off a call and was like, oh, that sucked. No, they're always really good. So Miguel, I always butcher his last name, Carrasco. He's actually from Winnipeg, which I thought was kind of cool. Because he was talking about how cold it was one winter when he lived out here, like -50. I was like, yes, I can totally relate to that. So one thing I just want to tell you guys to write down right now, he has a leadership talk on YouTube. About 20 minutes, he said. You can, I think, just type in leadership talk with Miguel Carrasco, and it's breaking down his conversations that he has with clients. And he's great with chatting with people, so it might be worth a listen. So again, it's just on YouTube. It's called Leadership Talk on breaking down conversations with clients, and that's with Miguel Carrasco. So yesterday, his topic was the promo codes. If you're newer, you might not know what the promo codes are, but I feel like most of you should. So this month, this is new. They've never done this before, and they're kind of just testing it out, I think, to see how it goes. So every active coach received 3 promo codes, $10 if you're in the States, $12 off in Canada. So he just talked about how, like, this is huge. Like, this is something so huge, and it gives you a reason to, like, reach out and talk to people. He gave 5 different steps, kind of how him and his team took advantage of this. And this was just yesterday. He said, he's like, you could literally do all 5 of these steps in 30 minutes if you focus your time. And he's like, you could have one of the biggest weeks of your life in terms of signing up new coaches, new clients, but you have to do the work. And now, like, yesterday was 48 hours. Now we're down to literally 24 hours. But you guys, like, I have watched crazy things happen in 24 hours with coaches. So, like, don't just quit because you're like, oh, it's the end of the month. I'll just wait till August. These expire tomorrow. So you might as well try. And he talked about how, okay, I'll just start at the beginning. Okay, so his first reason was, again, number 1, gives you a reason to reach out to people. So this was his example of what he would say to someone. So he's like, hey, Sam, I know you've been thinking about joining one of our, whatever you call them, accountability groups for some time now. And if you have a second, I have an amazing thing I want to tell you about. You'll absolutely love it, but it's only valid for 3 of my clients for the next 24 hours. So he doesn't, jump right into what it is, talk about anything like, he leaves it very vague. So they have to ask. So then he's like, I just have a conversation with them. We kind of chit chat back and forth. He breaks down the pricing. And I love how he does this. He'll say, so Beachbody On Demand is normally this much. Bag of Shakeology is normally this much. Everything that comes in. So he was doing the morning meltdown, just like the kind of basic kit that's on for, I think, $190. So he broke down all the prices in that, and he's like, you can get all of this for X amount with the $12 off, but, like, I need to know right now, kind of thing. So he said, like, create that urgency, right? And all you can do is ask, like, what are people going to say? Either not reply, or they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I would love the extra $12 off. So number 1, again, reason to reach out to people. This is a great, actually, again, I'm going to go over this in the steps. Stayed on track. So the next one, number 2. So creates that sense of urgency, which I just said. So follow up if you've sent them out to people already. Like if you've sent the promo codes out and they have not signed up, and say something like, hey, like Sam will say again, just checking in, like that promo code expires July 31st and I have a ton of people that would love to use it. So if you want to wait a few weeks and pay full price, that's totally okay. Just let me know because I have that promo code reserved for you. So again, just checking in and letting them know that other people want it, whether other people want it or not. He doesn't need to know that, but you're just creating that sense of urgency to see kind of where their head's at. And I always just say, let me know what you decide either way. If you don't want to sign up right now, totally okay. Like I sent that to a girl yesterday, actually, because she really wanted to sign up, and then, something happened and she's like, I unfortunately won't be able to until August. But at least she let me know because I was holding that promo code for her. So number 3, this is what I was kind of excited about. So he said, have an email list. If you don't have one started, you should try. This is something I actually just started doing very recently. So anytime you're chatting with someone, just try to grab their email and just kind of start a list of it. I like Gmail for it because you can send like kind of bulk emails. So when stuff like this happens, a new program, if there's a big sale on or whatever, you can send a huge email to just everybody. Like, hey, this is what's going on this month. Like, let me know if you want more information, kind of thing. So he also said, like, the back office, which I never thought about for old customers. So if you're a bit newer, you might not have a lot of old customers, but even current customers. So like Shannon and I are both like today, oh my gosh, that's a good idea. We've been coaching for 4 years. So we have customers in our back office that, aren't really doing the programs anymore, kind of fell off. Even past coaches, just send an email out to everybody. And he said, like, he's just literally saying, hey, like, we have a new program launching this month. The first 3 people to reply to me are going to get huge savings. Like, whatever you want to say in the email, it can just be literally short and sweet. But like, honestly, if you sent out an email to all your current people, all your past people that again maybe fell off, I bet you like we could all get them re-engaged in a group or sign back up or whatever. So in the back office, I don't even know how to do it. He said you could export your email list. So you'd have to just, which there is at the top. I think if you just go in your back office, I'd have to pull that. But like my customers, and then I think there's a spot that says like export contacts or something, or if you don't have that many, you could just copy and paste them and just send them all a quick email. Like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, we have a big sale on right now. It ends tomorrow night at midnight. Like the next 3 people that email me back, I will give you an extra like discount promo code kind of thing. The next one was your story. So he made a lot of really good points in this. He's huge on Instagram, like stories, and he's like, make sure you're showing yourself doing the programs, show you in your life, and add an invite. He's like, a lot of people are scared to invite, like a personal invite. So he's like, do it on your stories. Like either do like a poll or whatever, because that way they're clicking it. So you know if they're interested, right? You don't have to kind of worry like, ooh, what are they going to say? So do an invite at the end of your stories. And then he said, then he shared his before and afters, and then kind of did another invite and was like, talked about kind of how he got the results. And he said like people were making comments on his team that, oh, like this sounds like it takes a lot of time, like just documenting kind of your day on your stories. And he said, no, it shouldn't be taking that much time because this is stuff you should be doing anyway. You're doing your workouts, you're drinking your Shakeology, you know, you're just literally taking little snippets of your day, and you don't have to upload them right then and there. Like wait till you have a few things and then sit down for 5 minutes and upload all of them, right? So again, it's all things we're already doing. So you're documenting them to show people. And number 5 was just show your team, like get excited about it, which I feel we're doing. But some points that he talked about, and actually it's funny, I kind of geared my post about this today, because a lot of people say they don't want to be salesy, and people weren't using these promo codes because they felt it was salesy. And I thought that was absolutely crazy. How like saving someone money, I don't feel like that's salesy, but that's what he said a lot of people on his team were saying to him. Like he asked them, why aren't you using the promo codes or advertising the promo codes? And they said, I feel like that's salesy. So he said like you were actually doing your followers, your clients, whatever, a disservice by not offering them money off. $10 to $12 off is a big deal to a lot of people. Maybe you don't think so, but that is like, I'm someone like, hey, if you want to give me $2 off, like I don't care. Savings are savings, right? And you guys, if they're following you as a coach, like if their chances are they're following other Beachbody coaches, so they're gonna hear about it anyway. They're gonna hear it from another coach. So wouldn't you rather them hear it from you than hear it from a bunch of other coaches and be like, well, why didn't Jen tell me about that? Or why isn't Jen talking about it? So they want to hear it from you. So don't be afraid to share the promo codes. You're offering someone money off. Like that $10 or $12 off could literally make the difference of someone buying it or not, especially when it's already on sale this month. What else? So yeah, everything. Oh, and something it like kind of hit home for me, because he's like, he always hears inviting is hard. And he actually made some examples. And one of them was oil field workers, which that's actually what my boyfriend does. And he's like, they work 12 to 15 hours every day. Like they're gone 4 months at a time. They don't see family. They don't see, you know, their spouses, whatever. And like Adam and I did that before I was able to take coaching full time. And like, he's like, that's hard. He's like Nelson Mandela, who went to jail and then got out, like forgave everybody or something, and then ended up going on to like be a president or something. He's like, that's hard. And I guess he talked about Oprah Winfrey too, how she was like, I don't know, something else that's hard. He just said like inviting is not hard. He's like, you picking up your phone for 15 seconds and sending an invite is not hard. In the grand scheme of life and things, like that's not hard. And I just love how he said, like, we're actually doing a disservice to people if we're not inviting them, because we have a gift. We have something that could change people's lives. So by not inviting and not sharing it, you're actually, yeah, like doing them a big disservice. Whether you have 3 followers or 100,000, they're following you for a reason. They look up to you. They're motivated by you. They're inspired by you. So share everything that you can with them. And again, like he just talked about how everything is laid out for you with Beachbody. So take the 30 minutes, take the hour of your day and just do the work. And his story was like how he got into coaching was pretty good. I won't get into that, but he just said for him, his back was up against the wall with his health and stuff, so he had no choice but to start his health and wellness journey. But he said, a lot of people, maybe your back isn't up against the wall. Like maybe you don't need the extra income that bad or something like that. So if your back isn't up against the wall, you maybe won't do these things. So he said, pretend like it is. Like pretend, like you need this. Like, like your life depends on it and you'll do it. And yeah, he just talked about taking action and treat every day like it's January 1st. I love that because everyone's so excited and hyped up and wants to set goals and crush goals and do their health and wellness. Well, why not? Why can't that be every day? Why does it have to be January 1st? So just stay excited, treat every day like it's January 1st. And just remember that there are people out there that need you and that need us. And like he got all crying at the end kind of, and I got all crying at the end because it's so true. Like Beachbody changed his life and I know it's changed my life. I'm sure something has changed, like even if it's big or small, every single one of you probably have a story. Like it's a pretty amazing gift that we have. So if you take nothing away from this, just don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to invite. Like, yes, you can go about it the wrong way and be salesy and pushy, but you're just genuinely saying like, hey, this changed my life. Like, I don't know if you maybe need some workouts or some help with nutrition, but like, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here kind of thing. Like, there's a good way to go about it where you don't have to feel scared and icky and salesy and yeah. So we have, well, a day basically left of the month. So I hope you'll all work your butts off, take full advantage, try your hardest to get rid of your 3 promo codes, your 2, your 1, however many you have left, and just invite like crazy. And hey, I know we don't have a lot of time, but you sending out messages and following up, like that's just going to help with August too, right? Because Morning Meltdown's actually still on sale all through August, which is nice. But the promo codes expire tomorrow. Okay. I think that's all I got for now. Take a little breath.
Gold. It was all good. I love that, especially the it's not hard one. I'm like, so true. And it's taken me years to get over that feeling. So I remember, but if someone had said to me that back then, like,
I know.
All right, sending a quick little Facebook invite to someone, like choose your hard, right? Like, yeah. It's harder being in debt or sending a couple of people some messages that is going to help them. Like, yeah, cool. I love
it. And something he also said, he does a lot of these in voice notes too, which that's a cool thing. Like if, I know it's kind of scary, but if you do a couple, and hey, sometimes I get so tongue tied and I literally have to send another voice note apologizing, but it's more personal. And I feel like people do enjoy hearing your voice and it's sometimes easier to kind of explain things. So that's another option to try if you want.
Yeah, I do most of my stuff by voice memo now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions or comments, concerns? I love how many people are on. We definitely need
Can we get a photo real quick? And I know some people don't want their faces on here, but if you do for one quick photo, bring it on. Share it on your social media because we're growing these teams and it's something to be proud of and share with everyone. So I'll take a photo. Let's count it down. If anyone wants one of my photos, let me know. Okay.
Shannon always gets the good ones.
Okay, everyone, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Love it.
And these are great. This is a great little Instagram clip that you could say, hey, like every Tuesday, if you're free, our team gets together. Sometimes we chat for the whole time. Sometimes we work, like we ask questions. It's nice to know that it's not just you. Because sometimes I think people think you sign up and you're just by yourself. But no, you're definitely not.
I will say one thing. Earlier when I think it was Jen mentioned, someone mentioning that everything's so saturated. I also sell Scentsy. So believe me, I have customers that I've actually talked to people that don't even know what Scentsy is. And that it's Scentsy. Most people have heard of Scentsy. So it all depends on how you go about it.
Exactly. I kind of
So
think
it's
sometimes that's
definitely not too saturated for anything.
no, there's billions of people in the world, and yes, there's lots of stuff out there nowadays. So I can see how people feel that way, but it's like me being out here in a new province, I can tell you, I don't know one single Beachbody coach in my town. I mean, it's not that big, but people I've met out here, like when I tell them what I do, I always say like, oh, have you heard of Beachbody? And some are like, oh yeah, like I've heard of this, but they don't realize like it's an actual thing you can do. Like they have no idea what it actually is. So it's definitely not saturated. And that was a great point, Jessica. Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, did Jane just go off? I was just gonna say something about her. Oh, she did. I just wanted to give her a little shout out because she sent out like 168 messages from her back office, like to past customers, because from the wake up call yesterday. So I wanted to see if she'd share what she said and how it went, and she must have felt it. She's been like, Jen's gonna put me on the spot. But either way, Jane, if you're still on or you hear this, I'm proud of you and just wanted to say that's amazing that you did that. Like 168 people, that's awesome. And she probably just sent like a mass email. So it literally takes probably 2 minutes to write something and 1 second to hit send. And you never know with past customers, like, because sometimes they just fall off. And like, I know Shannon, you had a good story kind of too about like, sometimes like people just, it's a bad time in their life, or they fall off. So us just saying hello, like not bringing up anything, just saying, hey, how's it going? How's your summer? That might be that little nudge they need to be like, you know what, I've been thinking about jumping back in. Like, can I join a group? Like, do you have any deals on this month? So just don't be afraid to follow up with even coaches or past clients that are maybe inactive or kind of fell off the face of the earth. You just never know.
I agree. And I have something because I went to a birthday party last weekend and I bumped into a high school acquaintance, and she sells, I think is it called 31 Gifts, those big bags, storage bags. She's added me to groups over the years and this and that. Like I've never quite paid too close attention, which really, with having my kids and running out of my house and being not organized, I probably really could benefit from this stuff. Anyways, we ended up having an amazing conversation. She was the sweetest girl. And I ended up sending her a message like, hey, actually, I'd like to take a look at some of these bags. I probably could really use them when I'm running out to the gym or like running out to the cottage and keeping my stuff organized. And like, I felt like I wanted to give her the business after seeing her and chatting with her and like having that relationship with her, right? Which is like so important that we're doing just that. Like we're getting to know people on a different level because you really do want to support other women. Like I know, okay, she's doing the same thing I am, just a different company. And when you really get to know people, and it was nothing business, but it was just that quick conversation where I really wanted to support her. So like Jen said, you reaching out to someone or just being a good friend or just having a nice conversation with someone, maybe next time they see one of your posts or they see that you're looking for like a help wanted or whatever, they're like, hey, that girl's cool. I'm going to check out what she's got to say, because I think we're also all guilty of just scrolling past things on social media too, unless it catches your eye or you really know that person or you're intrigued with what they're doing. Sometimes you can just become another like passing by. So I thought, yeah, I don't know, make more connections. That's my point.
Great point. It's true though. You just never know. And I always think back to that the Beachbody Challenge winner of the 100,000, how she said, like at the end, she's like, don't stop doing what you're doing. And she's like, if someone didn't reach out to me, she might not be where she is today. And it's just, that was really powerful because she just said how amazing what we do is, and we literally do change lives. So don't ever be afraid to send that message, because you literally never know. Yeah, you're going to get some no's and people ignoring you, but those yeses are going to be totally worth kind of trying to get over that fear and just doing the hard things. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to add, say? I know we kind of just threw a lot at you. I feel like I did. Sorry. I need to stop drinking Energize before these because I'm just.
I think I'm gonna go take some Energizer right now and then like start doing some work.
I know we wanted to do work. Well, we can start working now. I actually have to go pick up Adam in about 5 minutes, but I'm still gonna leave this on. But yeah, we can work. I got some things I got to do work-wise. So
I'm gonna stay on and do power hour. So if anyone wants to keep going, stay on, do some work, and then if you've got to go, you understand.
I'm gonna hop off only because I have lots of orders to do and I need to continue watching Grey's Anatomy.
did you miss our Netflix combo? I'm just
No,
kidding.
I heard it.
We're multitasking. We're multitasking. That's good. That's usually
But
why
I sent out 6 invites before I put the kids to bed for the promo code.
And you signed up a coach today. So
I
good
did.
for you.
And she's been on the fence for a long time. A long time.
That's
So
awesome.
when she was like, yes, I want to do it, I was like really floored that she was like giving me the go ahead. But anyways.
Good for you. Well, enjoy your grays and you're getting your orders done. Thanks for hopping
I
on.
have so many orders.
Well, that's
But
good.
anyways, it is good.
It is good.
Alrighty. Shannon, if you're able to, can you send me that picture, or Jen, whoever?
I'll send it to
Awesome.
Jen now, and then
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Bye.
All right. Anyone else wanted to say anything?
I'm gonna hop off too.
Goodbye.
I spent all day at Canada's Running Land. I'm going to bed.
Oh, nice. Cool.
I don't blame you. Thanks for coming on.
There was no lines the whole day.
Oh, that's awesome.
5-minute waits.
And then it what?
It was only like 5-minute waits.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes for such a good day. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, night everyone.
Get some sleep.
Maybe we should ask, does anyone want to stay on and work? And then because we could just close it right off,
Yeah, if no one wants to stay on and work, don't.
then you could close your window. Does anybody feel like doing a power hour when everyone disappears?
It's Tori. I'm going to close my video, but I'm going to work for about an hour, probably.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm going to go work. Okay.
Just because I'm heading to bed with my daughter, so I'm going to shut my computer off.
Totally. Keep it quiet.
Yeah. Hi,
Cool.
guys. Thank you.
Bye, Tori. Way to go. And Tori has one promo code left, so that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing good. So, okay. It's Sherry and Melissa. Speak now or forever hold your peace. This is shut down.
Oh,